day, sir. We are the Group 5.
My name is Jasamisi Boyles.
My name is Maria Apohaldo.
And I am Ellen J. Gipalen
From
Bethlehem 3A.
So we are now in task 1A. So as you can see, we have here the final grades of Class A and Class B of grade 8 students. So we are tasked here to find the failing grade using the 7 and 8 point grading skills. So in order to find that, we have to tally all these final grades of the students to here. So we have here the A or the excellent or equivalent to 93 to 100%, then B plus, which is the very good, 87 to 92%, the B or the good to 80 to 86%, the C plus or the above average, 73 to 79%, then C or the average, 67 to 72%, the D or the below average is 60 to 66%, and F for failing, 0 to 59%. So now we have first to tally the scores or the grades of the Class A. So first we have here the 82, which it belongs to B or the good. Then the 84, which also belongs to the good. Then 82, which also belongs to good. Then 83, which also belongs to good. Then 81 also belongs to good. Then 85 also belongs to good. Then 80 also belongs to good. 80 also belongs to good. Then 75, finally the final number. We have the C plus or the above average. Then another 75. Then 87, which belongs to B plus or the very good. Then 84 to good. Then 88 to very good for the B plus. 91 to B plus again. 90 to B plus again. 92 to B plus again. Then 79, which belongs to C plus or the above average. Then 77 to above average. Then 80 to good. Then 90 to very good. Then 91 to very good also. Then lastly is the 88, which belongs to very good also. Now we will tally the Class B grades. So 86, which belongs to good. Then 86, another 86. Then 90, which belongs to very good. Then 86, which belongs to good. Then 85, which belongs to good again. Then 88, there is a very good. Then 84 belongs to good. Then 81 also belongs to good. Another 81. Then 77, which belongs to above average. Then 75, again above average. 78 above average. 75 above average. 77 above average. Then 85 good. Then 89 very good. Then 90 very good. 91 very good. 80 good. 89 good. I know. It is right. Go. Then 89 very good. Then 85 good. Then 81 is also good. Then lastly is 78, which belongs to above average. So this is the tally between 7-point grading skills and the final grades of Class A and Class B.
So as you can see in 7-point grading scale, the student that has a 7 and B plus or very good mark in Class A or has 87 to 92% is total of 8. And the student that has a B or good mark in their grades or have 80 to 86% in Class A is total of 10. And the C plus or above student that has above average or has 73 to 79% grades is total of 4. So in Class B, there are the student that has a B plus or very good marks has or has 87 to 92% has total of 6. And the B or the student has a good mark or has 80 to 86% grade, total of 11. And the student that has C plus or above average marks or 73 to 79% has a total of 6 also. So the question in number 1 is, using a norm reference grading with a 7-point scale, determine the scores that would get a failing mark, and what is your general comment on this? So as you can see here, there are no failing marks or grade in the Class A and B. And as you can see, the failing mark here is 59 below, and there are no student that gets 59 below. So but there are students that needs improvement, and they are in the above average marks, which is 73 to 79%. My general comment on this is that a 7-point grading scale provides clear distinctions between passing and failing, emphasizing the need for students to achieve at least a basic level of proficiency to pass.
So now we will find the failing grade in the 8-point grading scale. So in the Class A, we have here again 82, which belongs to good. Then 84 to good, 82 to good, 83 to good, 81 to good, 85 to good, 80 to above average, another 80 for above average, 79
Then in class B, 86 for very good, another 86 for very good, 90 for very good, 86 for very good, 85 for good, 88 for very good, 84 for good, 81 for good, 81 and also for good, 77 for above average, 75 for average, 77 for above average, 85 to very good, then 89 to very good, 90 to very good, 91 to very good, 80 to above average, then 89 to very good, 85 to good, then 81 to good, and lastly 78 to above average.
So we are now in the 8-point grading scale. So in B plus, which has a very good mark that has 86 to 90%, has a total of 8 in class A. And then in B, or the good mark, has a 81 to 85%, has a total of 7. And then in C plus or above average mark, has a 76 to 80%, has a total of 5. And in average, which has 70 to 75%, has a total of 2 in class A. So now let's proceed to class B. So very good mark has a 86 to 90%, 90% has a total of 10. And then in good mark, 81 to 85% has a total of 7. And in above average has a total of 4. And in average has a total of 1. So compared to the 7-point scale, the 8-point scale provides an additional level of granularity and lowers the threshold for failing mark. So this could allow some students who are closer to the passing grade to still receive recognition for their effort, but it could also mean that students who barely miss the passing mark could feel more discouraged. So 60 below is marked as failing grade. So as you can see here that there is no failing grade in class A and class B. So but there's need an improvement in this part, the average, which has 70 to 75% that needs improvement on their academic performance. So now let's proceed to task 2. So let me read the instruction. The grading system used in the TD12 is using the front-end equating approach. Assessment scores are immediately converted to a 100-point scale. And then composite marks are averaged and weighted.
So we are now in task 1B, wherein we will compute the grade of a student in grade 7 English with the following row score of written work with 72 over 90, performance task 86 over 110, then the school in a quarterly test 67 over 85. Now we will have to find the percentage score and the weighted score. So first, we will solve the written work. So the given is 72 over 19. Now in order to find the percentage score, we will use the formula of learner's total row score over the highest possible score times 100. So the learner's row score is 72. Then the highest possible score is 90. So 72 divided by 90, open and close parentheses, times 100. Now, if we will solve 72 divided by 90, we will get the 0.8. So 0.8 times 100 is equals to 80. So the percentage score is 80. So 80. Now, in computing the weighted score, we will use the formula of percentage score over times the WC, or weight of component. So we have here the weight of component. Now, our percentage score is 80 times the weight of the component of the English in written work. So the English is belong to languages. Then the written work is equal to 30%. So 80 times 0.30. So 80 times 0.30 is equal to 24. So our weighted score is 24. So 24.
So we need to get the performance task percentage score and weighted score. So we need to follow this formula in order to find the percentage score. So learner's total row score over highest possible score multiplied by 100. So the learner's total row score is 86 and the highest possible score is 110. So multiply by 100. So 86 divided by 110 is equal to 0.78. Multiply by 100, 78.18. So the percentage score is 78.18. So next is we need to find the weighted score. So in order to find the weighted score, we need to multiply 78.18 times the weight of components. English is belong to languages, which is 50%. So we need to multiply it by 0.50. So this is equal. So the weighted score is 78.18. So 78.18 times 0.50 is equal to 39.09. So this is the weighted score in performance task.
Now we'll get the percentage score and the weighted score of the score in quarterly test. So the given score in quarterly test is 67 over 85. So in order for us to get the percentage score in quarterly test, let's use this formula, which is the learner's total row score over the highest possible score multiplied by 100. So the learner's total row score is 67. And the highest possible score is 85 multiplied by 100. So 67 divided by 85 is 0.78 times 100. So 0.78 times 100 is equal to 78.82. So this is the total percentage score of the student in quarterly test. So 78.82. Getting the weighted score in quarterly test, let us use this formula, which is the percentage score multiplied by the weight of components. So as you can see, the percentage score of the quarterly test here is 78.82. So 78.82 multiplied by, so the weight of components in quarterly assessment in English, which is belong to languages, is 20%. So we will multiply the percentage score to the 20% or 0.20. So 0.20. So 78.82 times 0.20 is 15.76. So that is our weighted score in quarterly test. So 15.76. So now, in order for us to get the initial grade of the grade 7 English student, we will sum up all the weighted score here, which is the written work, performance test, and the quarterly test. So the written work is 24, performance task is 39.09, and the quarterly test is 15.76. So 24 plus 39.09 plus 15.76 is equal to 78.85. So this will be the initial grade of the grade 7 English student. So 78.85. So in getting the final grade, we will transmute the initial grade, which is 78.85. So in transmuted, it is 86. So that is the final grade of the grade 7 English student in English subject. Now move on number 2. So we will now compute the percentage score and the weighted score of the grade 10 student in mathematics with the following scores. So let's begin with the written work. So the given here is 34 over 55. So in getting the percentage score in the grade 10 student in mathematics, let's use this formula. The learner's total row scores over highest possible score multiplied by 100. So the learner's total row score is 34, so let's do 34. Then the highest possible score is 55 and multiplied by 100. So 34 divided by 5 is 0.6 multiplied by 100 is equal to 61.82. So the percentage score of the written work of grade 10 student mathematics is 61.82. So in getting the weighted score of the student, we will use this formula, which is percentage score multiplied by the weight of components. So the percentage score that we have computed is 61.82. And the weight of components of the written work, which is in the mathematics, is 40%. So multiplied by 0.40. So 61.82 multiplied by 40 and 0.40 is equal to 61.82 multiplied by 0.40 is equal to 24.73. So the weighted score of the grade 10 student in mathematics in written work is 24.73.
So, like the written work, we need to get the percentage score and the weighted score. So, the performance task is 40 over 80. In order to get the percentage score, we will use also the formula of learner's total row score. This is for written work. Of performance task over the highest possible score. Open and close parentheses, then times 100. So, the learner's total row score here is 40. So, the substitute, this is 40. then highest possible score for this is 80. Then open and close parentheses times 100. So if we divide 40 divided by 80, we will have to get the result of 0.5, then times 100. Then 0.5 times 100 is equals to 50. So this is the percentage score, 50. So now, in order to get the weighted score of the performance task, we have to use the percentage score times the weight of component. So what we have computed kanina is 50 ang possible score at the percentage score times the weight of component of the math is in performance task we have 0.40 or the 40%. So if we have to solve this 50 times 0.40, the result will be 20. So the weighted score for performance task is 20.
And now let's proceed to quarterly test. So we need to find the percentage score and the weighted score in quarterly test. So the given is 38 over 50. So in order to find the percentage score, we have to follow this formula. The learner's total row score over the highest possible score times 100. So the learner's total row score is 38. And the highest possible score is 50. So multiply by 100. So 38 divided by 50 is equal to 0.76. Multiply by 100 is equal to 76. So this is the percentage score in quarterly test, 76. Now let's proceed to weighted score. So in order to find the weighted score in quarterly test, so we have to follow this formula. So percentage score times weight of components. So the percentage score in quarterly test is 76. Multiply by the weight of component in math is 20%. 0.20. So 76 multiplied by 0.20 is equal to 15.2. So the weighted score in quarterly test is 15.2. So to get the final grade, we have to look for the transmuted grade of 59.93. So the transmuted grade for 59.93 is 74.
So are the percentage scores of Miss Maris and Araling Kalipunan for the first grading period. Reading works included a concept map, essays, news writing, news article review, and a couple of reaction papers. Performance tasks were comprised of timeless news, reporting, debate, and role play. So complete the table, calculate the total row scores in each component, determine the percentage scores or PS, and apply percentage weight or weighted score or WS, and then calculate his first quarter grade. So these are the written works of Marie. So there are 7 written works. The highest possible scores are 25, 20, 30, 20, 25, 30, and 40. So the total is 190. And then the score of Miss Maurice is 18, 10, 19, 20, 22, 25, and 30. So we need to add this written work score of Maurice to get the total score. So this is the total number of scores of Miss Maurice, 144. So now, to get the percentage score, we need to divide the total highest possible score, which is the 190, to the total number of score of Miss Maurice, which is the 144. And then we have to multiply it to 100. So this is the percentage score of Miss Maurice in reading works. So now, to get the weighted score of Miss Maurice, we need to multiply the 76 to 0.30. So this is the weighted score of Miss Maurice in written work, 22.8.
So let's move on to performance test. So in here we have 4 performance tests and the highest possible score is 20, 30, 30, and 30. So the total score of Maurice in performance test number 1 is 16 and performance test number 2, 24, and 3, 24, and 4, 28. So in order for us to get the total score of Maurice in performance test, we need to add this 4 performance test score of Maurice. So 16 plus 24 plus 24 plus 28. So these are the total score of Maurice in performance test. So in order for us to get the percentage score of Maurice, we need to divide the total score of Maurice, which is 92, and to the highest possible score, which is the 110. And also multiply it by 100. So 92 divided by 110 equals 46 times 100. So 92 divided by 110 is 0.84. And multiply by 100, we have 83.64. So this is the total percentage of Maurice in performance test. So 83.64. So next, as you can see, the weighted score has already been given, which is a 41.82. So in order for us to get the weighted score of Maurice, we have to multiply the total score of Maurice, which is the 83.64 times 50% or 0.50, which is the answer is 41.82.
Now, in order to complete the 3 learning components, which are the written, the performance task, we are now here in quarterly assessment. So, just like the others, the same procedure will take place in the quarterly assessment. So, in quarterly assessment, the highest possible score is 50, but Maurice only got 30. So in order to get the percentage score, we need to use the formula of learner's total row score over the highest possible score times 100. So the learner's total row score is 30, then divide to the highest possible score, which is 50 times 100. So open and close parentheses. So if we divide this 30 over 50, we will have the result of 0.6 times 100. Then 0.6 times 100 is 60%. So this is the percentage score in quarterly assessment, 60. Now, in order to get the weighted score, we need to divide times the percentage score to the 20%, which is the component of the quarterly assessment in Aralpan. So 60 times 0.20 equals, we'll have the answer of 12. So this will be put here. Now, in order to compute the initial grade, we need to add all the weighted score in written work, performance task, and quarterly exams. So 22.8. Then in performance task, we have 83.64, and lastly, in quarterly exam, we have 12. So we will get the result of 76.54. Now, if we try to look into the transmuted grade, we will have 85. So this is the initial grade, and this is the transmuted grade. So the grade of Miss Maurice in first quarter in Aralpan is 85. Now, in order to get the final grade in Aralpan, we have to add her grades from first grading, second grading, and third grading, and fourth grading. So I have already written here the her grades in first, second, and fourth. So her grade in first grading, which we computed ganina, is 85. The second is 87. Third, 88. Fourth is 90. So the second, third, and fourth is already given. Now, if we have to add this, we will get the total of 352. So since there are 4 quarters, we have to divide it by 4, and we will get the result of 88. So In final grade, we don't have to transmute anymore since these grades are already transmuted. So the final is 88. So the remarks for this grade is passed. Now, in order to get the general average, we have to add all her final grades in all the learning areas, then divide it if pila ka ang learning areas available. So 89 plus 82 plus 87 plus 88 plus 91 plus 85 then plus 74 equals to. Now if we have to add her grades in all the learning areas, we will get the result of 685. Then we have to divide it by the numbers of learning areas, which is 8. We will have the result of 85.6. So if we convert this to whole number, we will have 86. Yeah. So how many the general average? 86 or the 85.6. Then the remarks for this is passed. So to answer this question, Miss Marie's final rating is 88% and its descriptive rating, like you can see here, is passed. So we are now in task 3. So the direction given here is that you are provided a table showing a sample card of a grade 6 student named Rico for the third quarter of the year 2023 and 2024. Using the discussions of lesson 8 as your guide, fill up the empty spaces to get the needed data until you will be able to compute for his quarterly grade at the last column. So these are the subjects or the learning area that Rico had for this third quarter of his school year in grade 6. So we have the Filipino, the English, Mathematics, Science, Araling Panlipunan, Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao or the ASP, Edukasyon sa Pangtahanan at Pangkabuhayan or the APP, then the MAPI, which is composed of 4, the Music, Arts, PE, and Health. In this area, we have the written work percentage score, the performance task percentage score, the quarterly assessment percentage score, the initial grade quarterly grade. So what we have to do here is we only have to find for the weight in each component. So starting with Filipino, so the written word percentage score of Filipino is 85. So if we have to look at the weight of the components for the grade 1 to 10, the Filipino will fall under the languages. So in a written work, the languages has 30%. So we have to times it to 0.30. And we will have the result of 25.5. So we will write here 25.5. So in the Filipino, Rico got the performance task percentage score of 81. So 81. Now if we try to look here, so the Filipino is belong to languages. So the performance task that the Filipino has is 0.50 or the 50%. So we have to multiply it by 50%. So we will have the result of 40.5. So 40.5. Now in the quarterly assessment, Rico only got 75 in his percentage score. So just like the written and the performance test, we have to get the weight. 75 times since naman sa languages, the quarterly assessment is only 20%. So 75 times 0.20 is 15. So 15. Now in order to get the initial grades, we have to add all the weight from written, from performance test, and quarterly exam assessment. So 25.5 plus 40.5 plus 15 is, we will have to grade the 81. So this is the initial grade of Rico. This is not yet the final grade. Now if we have to look at the transmuted grade in DepEd, this 81 will get a transmuted grade of 88. So the same procedure will be applied to English. So in the in the written work percentage score, Rico got 82. Then if we try to look here, the English is also belong to languages. The written work has 30% or 0.30. Now if we multiply this, we will have the result of 24.6. So we will write it here, 24.6. So now in performance task percentage score, Rico got 77. So 77, and we will locate it here. The performance task have 50%. So 77 times 0.50 is equal to 38.5. So 38.5. Now in quarterly assessment, same in Filipino, Rico got also 75. And both Filipino and English are the local languages, and the quarterly assessment has the same percent, which is the 20%, so it will be 50. So, in order to get the initial grade, we will add the weight across the different areas. So, 24.6 plus 38.5 plus 15 is equal to 78.1. So, 78.1. Now in the transmitted grade, 78.1 is equal to 86. Then, in mathematics, the written word percentage score of RICO is 71. Then, if we would try to look for the weight of the components, the written word of math is 40%. So, 71 times 0.40 is equal to 28.4. So, 28.4. Then, the performance task percentage score of RICO in math is 67. So, 67 times, so math, the performance task is 0.40. 67.40 is 26.8. So, 26.8. Now, in quarterly assessment, percentage score of RICO is 62. So, 62. Then, the quarterly assessment of math is same to all across, the learning area across different subject, which is 20% times 0.20. So, we have a result of 12.4. So, 12.4. Now, in order to get the initial grade, we will have to add all the weight score in written word, the performance task, and the quarterly assessment. So, 28.4 plus 26.8 plus 12.4 is equal to 67.6. So, 67.6. Now, if we look at 67.6 in the transmitted grade, it will be equals to 79. Now, in science, the written work of RICO, the percentage score of written work of RICO is 76. So, math and science have the same weight of components. So, the written work is 0.40 or 40%. So, we will have the result of 30.4. So, 30.4. Now, in the performance task percentage score of RICO, he got 79. So, 79 times performance task is 0.4, also 0.40. So, we have the result of 31.6. So, 31.6. Now, in the quarterly assessment percentage score, we could get 65. So, 65, then the quarterly assessment is 20% times 0.20. 65 times 0.20 is 13. So, 13. Now, we will add, in order to get the initial grade, we will add the weight of the written, performance, and quarterly exams. So, 30.4 plus 31.6 plus 13 plus 13, we will get 75. The transmitted grade 75 is equivalent to 84.
So now let's proceed to the Araling Palipunan. So the written work of percentage score is already given, which is the 83. And now let's find the weight of Araling Palipunan in written work. So as you can see, in weight of components, Araling Palipunan is under the languages Araling Palipunan and ASP. So the written work is 30%. So we need to multiply the 83 So the weight of written work in Araling Palipunan is 24.9. So now, let's proceed to the performance task percentage score, which is the 83. So we need to find the weight of performance task. So we have here 50%. 83 multiplied by 0.50. So is equal to 41.5. So the weight score of performance task is 41.5. Next, same procedure with the quarterly assessments. So we need to multiply 83 to the 20%. 83 multiplied by 0.20 is equal to 16.6. So this is the quarterly assessment weight, which is the 16 To get the initial grade of Araling Panlipunan, we need to add the weight of written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessments. So we have 24.9, 41.5, and 16.6. So the initial grade is 83. If we look to the transmuted grade for 83 is 89. So we need to multiply the written work percentage of ESP, which is the 84, multiply by the written work, which is the 30%, 0.30. So the answer is 25.2. So the weight of written works in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao is 25.2. Next is we need to get the weight of performance tasks. So performance task percentage score is 84. So we have to multiply 84 times 50%, which is 0.50. So the total is 42. So the weight of performance task in ESP is 42. Next is we need to get the quarterly assessment weight. So same procedure, we have to multiply 84 multiply by the quarterly assessment 20%, 0.20. So the answer is 16.8. So the weight of quarterly assessment in ESP is 16.8. So next is to get the initial grade, we have to again add the weight of written works, performance tasks, and quarterly assessments. So we have 25.2, 42, and 16.8. So the total is 84. So the initial grade for ESP is 84. So if we transmute it, the quarterly grade for ESP is 90. So next is Edukasyong Pantahanan at Pangkabuhayan or EPP. So the written work percentage for EPP is 80. So we need to find the weight score for written works. So as you can see in weight of components, the written works for EPP is 20%. So we need to multiply 80 multiplied by 20. So 80 multiply 0.20. So the answer is 16. So the weight score for written works in EPP is 16. So next, let's find the weight of performance task. So 84 is the performance task percentage for EPP. So again, let's multiply 84 to the performance task, which is the 60. So 84 multiplied by 0.60 is equal to 50.4. So the weight score for performance task in EPP is 50.4. Next is we need to find the weight score for quarterly assessment. So the quarterly assessment percentage score is 77. Next is we need to find the weight score for quarterly assessment. So the quarterly assessment percentage score is 77. So we need to multiply 77 multiply by the quarterly assessment 20%. So 0.20. So 77 multiplied by 0.20 is equal to 15.4. So the weight score for quarterly assessment in EPP is 15.4. So again, to get the initial grade, we need to add the weight score for the written work, performance task, and quarterly assessments. So 16 plus 50.4 plus 15.4 is equal to 81.8. So the initial grade for EPP is 81.8. So to get the quarterly grade, so we have to look for the transmuted grade. So the transmuted grade for 81.8 in EPP is equal to 88.
So let's now move on to MAPE, which consists of 4 components, which are the music, arts, PE, and health. So now we are going to get the weight of the MAPE, which we will start from the music. So the written work percentage score of the music is 76, and the performance task is 77, and the quarterly assessment is 75. So now in getting the weight of written work percentage score, we need to find the components of the written work in MAPE here. So as you can see, it's 20%. So we need to multiply the 76 to the 20% or 0.20. So 76 times 0.20 times 0.20 is equal to 15.2. So the weighted score of the music is 15.2. So now in performance task percentage score, it has the same procedure as we do in the written work. So 77 times, so we have to find the components of performance task in MAPE, in music. So in here it has 60%, so let's now multiply 77 times 0.60. 77 times 0.60. So 77 times 0.60 is equal to 46.2. So in getting the quarterly grade, we need to look at the transmuted grade. So the transmuted grade will be 85. So let's move on to the arts. So the same procedure as we. So next is the arts. So we need to compute or find the weight of the written works in the arts. So in written works, so 85, we need to find, as you can see, the weight of components in the written work, the MAPE is 20%, so let us multiply 20% to that written work percentage score. So 85 times 0.20 is equal to 70. So the weight score of the written work percentage score is 70. So next is the performance task. So the performance task has 60% in the components, weight of components. So let us multiply 81. Let us multiply 60% to the percentage score of performance task. So 81 times 0.60 is equal to 48.6. So this is the total weighted score in performance task percentage score. So 48.6. So now the quarterly assessment. The quarterly assessment components has 20%. So let us multiply 20% to the quarterly assessment percentage score, which is the 80. So 80 times 0.20 is equal to 16. So the weight score is 16. So again, in getting the initial grade, let's sum up all the weight score that is from the written work percentage, performance task percentage score and the quarterly assessment. So 17 plus 48.6 plus 16. So the total is 81.6. So that will be the initial grade. 81.6. So in getting the quarterly grade, again, let us look at the transmitted grade and we will find its quarterly grade. So the quarterly grade is the 88. So next is PE. So the written work percentage score in PE is 80. So let's find the components of the written work here in PE or in MAPE. So here, as you can see, it's 20%. So let's multiply the 20% to the written work percentage score, which is the 80% in PE. So 80% times 0.20 is So that is the weight score of the written work in P. So in performance task percentage score, we have 80. So as you can see here, the performance task in MAPE it is 60%. So 60%, we will multiply it to the performance task percentage score, which is the 80. So 80 times 0.60 is equal to 48. So this will be the weight score of performance task. 48. So in getting the quarterly assessment weight, let's find the components of the quarterly assessment, which is the in the MAPE, which is 20%. So let us multiply 20% to the quarterly assessment percentage score in A. So 78 times 0.20 is equal to 15.6. So that will be the total weight scored in A. 15.6. So in getting the initial grade, we will have to sum the weight of the written work, the performance test, and the quarterly assessment. So 60 plus 48 plus 15.6 is equal to 79.6. So this will be the initial grade. So 79.6. And if you look at the transmitted grade, the quarterly grade will be 87. So let's move on to the next component of MAPE, which is the help. So as you can see, the written work percentage score here is 85. And the components here in written works in MAPE is 20%. So let us multiply 20% again to the written work percentage score in help. So 85 times 0.20 is equal to 70. So that will be the weight score in help, 70. Next is the performance task. So first, we will look for the components here in the performance task, which is the 60%. So 60% multiplied to the performance task percentage score in help. So 81 times 0.60 is equal to 48.6. So in getting also the weight of quarterly assessment, so we will multiply again the components in quarterly assessment here in MAPE to the quarterly assessment percentage score, which is the 75. So 75 times 0.20 is equal to 15. So this will be the weight of the quarterly assessment. 15. So in getting the initial grade, again we will sum up or add the written work weight, the performance task, and the weight of quarterly assessment. So 70 plus 48.6 plus 15 is equal to 80.6. So this will be the initial grade, 80.6. So again, getting the quarterly grade, we will look at the transmitted grade. So the transmitted grade of the help is 87. So now we are done getting the weight of the written work, performance task, and the quarterly assessment. Let us now sum up the initial grade of music, arts, PE, and help to get the initial grade of MAPE. So this is 118.2. So now let us divide this to 4 because the MAPE consists of 4 components. So divide by 4. So the answer would be 79.55. So this will be the initial grade in MAPE. 79.55. So the transmitted grade in MAPE, which is 79.55, is 87. So Rico has a quarterly grade of 88 in Filipino, 86 in English, 79 in mathematics, 84 in science, and 89 in Aral Pagkukunan, 90 in ESP, and 88 in EPP. Then has a quarterly grade of 87 in MAPE. So the question here in number 1 has 3 grade in MAPE is approximately 79.55. So I found it by averaging the percentage scores from each subject area within MAPE, which is the music, arts, PE, and health. So I summed this up to find the initial grade of Rico in MAPE.
Number 2 question. In which learning area did Rico perform best during the third quarter? Explain briefly your basis. So, Rico performed best in ESP or Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao. So, where he scored 90 in quarterly grade. So, this conclusion is based on the highest quarterly grade among all the learning areas, indicating that he has a strong understanding and a command of the subject material.
So in question number 2, it is heard that in which learning area does Rico need to improve on and why so? So as we can see here, Rico needs to improve his mathematics grade that only has 79 over 79. So suggesting that he may struggle in this subject or the concept that being taught in this subject. So this indicates that he needs additional support and practice in the subject mathematics.
So, number 4 question. What does his level of proficiency in Araling Palipunan signify? So, Rico's level of proficiency in Araling Palipunan signifies that he has a solid understanding of the subject matter. So, it means that Rico has a broad knowledge about history because Araling Palipunan is more on historical events. So, a score of 89 suggests that he is performing above average and he has a good grasp of concepts, so which is encouraging and reflects positively on his engagement with the material.
So the question number 5 said that describe Rico's overall performance in this third quarter and how would you communicate this to his parents? So as we can see in his quarterly grade, he did well in most areas. So I will communicate this to his parents by highlighting his strength, especially in certain areas, while also suggesting his parents to support him, especially in the area where he is facing challenges, especially in mathematics.
Doing this whole activity from task 1 to 3, I have learned that teacher must maintain accuracy in recording and especially computing the grades of the student to ensure that they reflect the student's true performance. They should also be honest in reporting grades in order to avoid undermining trust and the integrity of assessment. And also for the teachers to be transparent to the parents, they should communicate to the parents and clear about the grading policy, and also they should say the parents that their child or their son and daughter should need improvements, especially to a specific area in their academic performance.
So for me, being a teacher means carrying a big responsibility. So especially when it comes to just like what Miss Ellen said, in recording and in computing grades. So it is very important to be careful, and also the grades should be computed accurately, and a small mistake can affect the students' confidence and also to their future opportunities and even their trust in you as a teacher. So when teachers are careful and accurate, they show respect for the efforts of their students. So it ensures fairness and also builds trust between the teacher and the students. So being honest in computing grades also helps students know their true strength and also their weaknesses or for improvement. So areas for improvement. So this honesty can motivate them to work harder and to become better. So, and also in transparency, it is very important when the teacher explains grades clearly to students, to their parents. So it helps avoid misunderstandings, and also it shows that teacher is fair and open to the students as well as to their parents. So parents can also provide better support to their children when they understand how grades are given. So from my perspective, being responsible in grading also makes a teacher a good role model. So it shows students the value of fairness, honesty, and doing things the right way.
So for me, in analyzing student performance through various grading systems and tasks, it is evident that assessment is not merely about assigning grades, but rather understanding individual learning journeys. So each student's scores reflect their unique strengths and areas for improvement. By communicating these insights effectively with parents and guardians, we can foster a supportive environment that encourages growth and academic success for the students. So that is our reflection about this task.
Thank you.